goal-oriented, wise, those who know the true price of inner peace.
My dear Pisces, I am glad to see you on the Astrology of the Way channel.
If you are here for the first time, subscribe right now so you don't miss key clues for your life. Before we move on to the forecast, I have important news for you. I have prepared a deep study for you, an individual solar for Pisces for 2026, 2027, which you can access via the link in the description of this video. And so, let's begin. What does the month of April have in store for us? Let's start with the most important event of this month. For the last 7 years, since 2019, the great reformer Uranus has been in your third house. This is the sector of information, contacts, learning, and your immediate environment. What has been happening in your life over the last 7 years? Your usual social environment crumbled and was reassembled. You might have abruptly changed your circle of friends, or suddenly started learning something completely new, from IT technologies to foreign languages. This was a time when your ideas were ahead of reality. Many of you faced changes in the lives of brothers or sisters, or your relationships with them went through a phase of complete renewal. You were constantly in motion, searching for new meanings, changing gadgets, and mastering new ways of transmitting information. You learned flexibility of mind, and old ways of thinking no longer worked. This was a period when your mind literally went beyond the boundaries of the habitual. You caught ideas like flashes, without logic or sequence, and often didn't have time to explain them to others. You began to think faster than you spoke, and spoke faster than you could be understood. Those around you might not have kept up with you, creating a feeling that you were a step ahead, but alone. You learned not just to receive information, but to filter it, weed out the unnecessary, and build your own system of knowledge. Old authorities lost their significance, and you relied more and more on your own opinion. Your social space became unstable. People appeared abruptly and disappeared just as suddenly. It was a process of purification through chaos, and now, a historical turn. On April 27, Uranus makes the transition into your fourth house until 2033. Such an event happens once every 84 years. The fourth house is the Holy of Holies. It is your lineage, your parents, your real estate, and your inner sense of security. It is the foundation upon which your entire life stands. Uranus in the fourth house is an event our grandparents last experienced in the 1940s. What awaits you in the next 7 years? Uranus in the fourth house is liberation from ancestral scripts. Life situations will push you to completely reconsider the concept of home. This is no longer about the mind and ideas. This is about the foundation of your life. If previously your thinking changed, now the reality in which you live is changing. And the changes will be felt not only on an external level, but also on the level of internal feelings of stability and belonging. In real estate, the most unexpected deals may await you. You might sell an apartment in the city center and move to a high-tech house in nature. Or you might suddenly decide to divide property that has been a dead weight for years. Uranus will give Pisces the courage to own the kind of housing you were afraid even to dream of. At the same time, the theme of home itself may be in a state of constant motion. Renovations, remodeling, and changes to the space may follow one after another. Decisions will come as impulses, but they will turn out to be fateful. The attachment to one place will weaken. During this period, the home stops being a final point and becomes a process that can be regularly updated and transformed. In the family, relationships with parents are moving to a new level. You stop being hostages to family expectations. For some, this will be a time to create their own family on absolutely new, free foundations. Relationships with relatives may become unconventional, with sharp turns where the usual rules no longer work. You begin to see ancestral patterns that previously seemed like the norm, and you decide no longer to follow them. Periods of distance, unexpected changes in communication formats, or a reevaluation of the role of each family member are possible. Contacts with relatives may become more unpredictable, with periods of distance or sudden changes in the format of communication. You will realize that your security does not depend on external walls. You are building an internal smart home where you alone are the master. Old supports may crumble so that you stop looking for stability on the outside. Your home is now a state of being. It is an internal point that cannot be destroyed, and it is through this period that you gradually form a new, more autonomous system of internal support. Moving on to the important dates of the month. What does April bring us? There is not a single retrograde planet this month. This is a very rare moment of pure forward motion. During such periods, life seems to stop breaking and begins to unfold faster and more directly. In this period, it is especially effective to launch new projects and ideas, approach employers or clients with proposals, process documents and deals, go through interviews, start training, or change your job or activity format. It is good to take the first steps where there was previously doubt or procrastination. On April 2, a full moon occurs in your 8th house. The 8th house is associated with deep internal transformations, other people's finances, and investments. This full moon can act as a vivid moment of realization or culmination. In real life, it may bring long-awaited news regarding a loan, insurance, or inheritance, which will significantly ease the situation and relieve tension. At some point, you may clearly feel an internal relief and freedom, as if a difficult stage has finally ended. On April 10, Mars enters your 2nd house, the sector of personal money, resources, and self-worth. This is like switching on an internal engine that begins to directly influence your ability to earn, manage money, and feel your footing in the material world. This is not the time to ask for a raise. This is the time to come and state, "My work costs this much, and here is why." Use the energy of Mars to rewrite your price lists and close financial loose ends. If someone owes you money, April 10 is the best day to remind them of it as firmly as possible. The 2nd house in astrology is not only about money as such, it is about your basic stability in life. It is about what you lean on within yourself and in the external world. This is the zone where the feeling of, "I can afford this, I am worthy of this, and I know how to create value," is formed. This is also where your attitude toward comfort, physical pleasures, the ability to enjoy life, and the skill of earning through your talents and practical actions manifest. The 2nd house shows how you turn your abilities into real resources and how confidently you feel your worth without external confirmation. When planets are activated in the 2nd house, the theme of money intensifies, but the issue of self-esteem also sharpens. For Pisces, this is an especially sensitive zone because the energy of the 2nd house requires specifics, structure, and grounding, while your nature is inclined toward intuition and flow. In such periods, it is important to learn to connect internal feeling with practical actions, so that ideas do not remain as dreams but turn into real results. Mars in this house gives activity and the desire to earn more, but it can also provoke impulsive spending or hasty financial decisions. Therefore, it is important to direct this energy into a constructive channel: work, projects, formalizing financial issues, and developing income sources. April 16-20, the heart of the month. A parade of planets in the 2nd house. A unique stellium gathers here: the Sun, the new moon point, Mercury, Mars, Saturn, Neptune, and Chiron. A powerful concentration of energy from several planets focuses attention on the theme of money, value, and internal stability. This is a period when the theme of resources comes to the forefront and requires a mature approach. You may feel that life is literally pushing you to put your finances in order. Reconsider your sources of income, spending structure, and your attitude toward the material. Everything becomes more conscious and significant. Saturn plays the leading role here, It is responsible for system, discipline, and long-term results. Saturn in the second house is not about visualizing money, but about taking inventory. Saturn does not give quick fixes, but it provides a solid foundation. During these 5 days, from April 16 to 20, you must know the exact amount in your accounts down to the penny. Saturn loves numbers, not hopes. If you show the heavens that you are a responsible manager of your resources, Saturn will give you the right to own significant capital. During this period, it demands responsibility for every step. Any financial agreements, documents, deals, or legal issues must be verified to the smallest detail. If there were previously unfinished issues related to money, inheritance, property, or the registration of rights, an opportunity now appears to structure them and put them in order, but only under the condition of attentiveness and a serious approach. At the same time, Neptune adds an element of uncertainty, so it is important to avoid illusions, unclear schemes, and ill-considered decisions. Chiron may highlight old internal wounds related to self-esteem and the sense of one's own worth, giving a chance to realize and work through them. Overall, this period lays a foundation that is not only financial, but also internal. This is the moment when you can reassemble your attitude toward money and yourself, reach a new level of stability, and begin to form a more mature and resilient model of interaction with resources. April 17, new moon in your second house. Your personal starting point in the theme of money, resources, and self-worth. Everything you start on this day, a call to a realtor, launching an idea, discussing income, or signing a contract, has the potential to grow into something stable and long-term. This is the moment when the financial foundation for the future is laid, so it is especially important to approach your decisions and intentions consciously. April 21, the Sun enters the 5th house. A time for joy, creativity, and love. A period when you want more lightness, pleasure, and self-expression. The need for bright emotions, inspiration, and recognition intensifies. This is a favorable time for dates, romance, creativity, and everything that brings joy and restores a sense of zest for life. April 25, Venus enters your 4th house until May 19. This is your well-deserved bonus for all the intense work in April. If at the beginning of the month you were drowning in papers, courts, or institutions according to Saturn, now the time has come to finally exhale and direct the profit you've gained into the comfort of your home. This is the perfect time to tend to your personal space. If you were planning to rent, buy, or sell housing until mid-May, circumstances will be on your side. Venus will help you find exactly the option that suits you in terms of both price and status. Now you can put a finishing touch on a lingering renovation, buy high-quality furniture, or appliances that will simplify your daily life. Do not skimp on your convenience. Any investments in home comfort now will become the foundation for your rest and productivity in the future. This same period will help close old conflicts with relatives. Venus provides an opportunity to reach an agreement calmly, without unnecessary emotions, relying on mutual respect and benefit. This is especially important if you have had long-standing disputes over inheritance or the division of property. For those Pisces who work for themselves or remotely, the home will now become a true place of power. The workspace will literally begin to attract clients. Matters will be resolved more easily, and the routine will begin to bring real satisfaction and income. My dear Pisces, this April is becoming a point of growth and an internal breakthrough for you. Do not be afraid to step out of habitual scripts and choose what truly resonates within. If this forecast was close to you and resonated on the level of feelings and understanding, support the Astrology of the Way channel with a subscription and a like. Write in the comments, "I am building my happy reality," to fix this mindset and strengthen its energy. I wish you a strong, conscious, and productive April. May this period be the beginning of new decisions, a new level of life, and your personal story, which you create yourself. Until we meet again,